next weekend, Senator John McCain will be my guest, and I hope you'll all be tuned for that. Hello, Jack.
Hello there. Good to talk to you.
Thank you, sir.
You don't have much time, and I want to give you the time, so
I got lots of time.
Well, here's the question. Why do you believe, and can you show us why the rapture is not going to occur and the Christians are going to be here?
Well, first of all, what's the rapture, as you understand it?
Well, I've been taught all my life that before the tribulation, the Christians will be out of here.
Well, first of all, the tribulation is over. The tribulation has already occurred. It occurred from approximately 536 to 1779, when the church was what was supposed to tribulate. If you go back and look, every time tribulation is spoken of, it is the church that's going to tribulate. It isn't the earth. It isn't the people. It isn't the sinners. It's the church. And during that time frame that I have just referred to, ending in 1779, over 50 million Christians died for the cause because they would not convert, or they would not change, or they would not whatever. And you can verify this by simply going to your library and asking for a copy of Fox's Book of Martyrs. There was never any indication, there was no indication in the Bible that the earth is going to tribulate. It was going to be the church, the Christian people. And that's where your tribulation occurred. So number one, your tribulation is over with. Number two, what would be the point of the rapture? Just using simple logic. Now, I know we go to Thessalonians, and we read about a catching away and the coming in the clouds and all those kinds of things. But what Paul is telling them there is that, look, there's going to be a time when he is going to reappear on the earth, and he's going to transform the sons of God at that time for the purpose of bringing the entire earth into righteousness. It talks about the fact that we are to be kings and priests, and that he will sit on the throne of his father David, and he will rule the nations with a rod of iron. John, in Revelation, looking up, said, I saw the new Jerusalem coming down. What is Jerusalem? Jerusalem was the seat of power. Jerusalem was the government. Jerusalem was where David sat on his throne. And secondly, if Jesus is going to sit on David's throne, David did not sit on a celestial throne. He sat on a terrestrial throne. He sat on an earthly throne. If he's going to give his son, the son of David, if he's going to give him his father's throne, he's got to have an earthly throne. He talks about how, all through the scriptures, how that he will rule the nations, how he will bring everybody into subjection to him, that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. And if we're all up somewhere, sitting under a cloud or on a cloud, under a fig tree, strumming on our harps, talking to Moses, how in the world are we going to fulfill all of those things that are there? And if we're going to be kings and priests, nobody in heaven, quote unquote, needs a king or a priest. Heaven is filled with righteousness. It needs no rulers. It needs no lawgivers. It needs no individuals who will serve as propitiation between man and God or whatever. There is no sin there to propitiate for. So what would be the point of doing that? That would be human logic that I've just given you. The scripture, if you go back and you read it carefully again, all of these things indicate that he's going to come back here and do those things that he said he would do before he left, and that the prophets are just filled with, and the Pauline writings are filled with, that he is going to do.
John, how about the Battle of Armageddon, when 2/3 of everything on earth is to be killed, though?
Armageddon, again, has already been fought. There is no Armageddon. The Antichrist has already come and been disposed of. We are now living in approximately the 18th chapter of the book of Revelation. That's where we are on the time scale.
Well, do you think that it was, the scripture says that 2/3 of everything living, even plants...
No. It doesn't say that at all. It doesn't say that 2/3 of everything living. It speaks of a specific nation, and you're referring to the 37th and 38th chapters of the book of Ezekiel. And the Ezekiel chapters, again, come into a great deal of question. I don't have time here to get into any kind of discourse as far as I'm concerned. Again, I don't ask you to believe any of this. But again, if you're waiting for the tribulation, if you're waiting for the rapture, if you're waiting for the Antichrist, you're way behind time. It's already been fulfilled.
John, I believe you, because why would God say to the Christians that you should not, during the tribulation, you should not take the mark, or you're going to go to hell?
No, it doesn't say wait a minute. If you take the mark, it doesn't say you're going to hell. And for the most part, the mark has already come, and most of us have already taken it. We're not talking about a literal tattoo here. You got to go to the book of Revelation, and you got to understand that everything that's said there is in types and symbols. There is nothing, repeat, nothing in the book of Revelation that can be translated literally. No frogs are going to come out of the sea. No woman is going to ride on a tiger with Babylon written across her, or whatever else written across her head. And no tin-horned beast is going to rise out of the earth, and so on and so on. These are all types and symbols of political, religious, and economic systems that God says that I will ultimately destroy. He will destroy many of these with the brightness of his coming. But there's a lot of other things involved there.
Where did you get this knowledge, John?
Well, I got it through study. I got it through reading. I got it through just simply on my knees before God saying, look, I need to understand this. And there are other people who can give you simple things of it. I don't know how to do this or not. I may be getting me and a whole bunch of people in trouble.
Go ahead, John, do it.
If you're really, truly, honestly, genuinely interested in this, if you truly are, you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope here, and I will send you back the name of a man that you can write to. Now, it'll cost you about $12 or $15 to get a series of tapes. Now, I'll warn you, this man is a Pentecostal, and he gets a little excited in some of his preaching sometimes. But if you could ignore that and listen to the scripture, that this man and the way he lays it out for you, he can give you in a 4-tape series what he calls the simplified book of Revelation. And I tell you, it'll open your eyes to things you don't believe.
I'll do it, John.
And again, send me a self-addressed. Now, I warned you along those lines, see?
Yeah.
But again, this man, again, is a Pentecostal, but he's right on when it comes to that. And if you can weed your way through it, and if you're interested, he's also got Daniel. See, Daniel's 70th week is already over with. It's done. It's finished. We're out of time. You and I'll have to talk later, okay?
Thank you.
All right, I'm John Dayl. This is 910 KFYI. Boy, what a way to end the show. But that's all right. The good Lord willing, the creek don't rise and the fall goes well. I'll be back next Saturday, 3 o'clock. We'll start this mess with you all over again. Hey, I'm out of time, but I still love you, Arizona. We're 10 years old. Just wait till you hear how we behave now.